She has Olympic gold and Olympic silver.
Thanks, bro.
She is a four-time All-American. She won a national championship at UCLA. And her impact goes far beyond the field because she started the Natasha Watley Foundation, and her dedication as a mentor and a role model, and she continues to inspire young athletes across the world. Yep. And something that's really special to me as a dad is my daughter happens to be a left-handed hitter, an outfielder who admired Natasha growing up as a player, who wanted to wear number 29 on Natasha's behalf. That's the number she wore for the Olympic team. And the crazy thing is, ladies, is now my daughter is an outfielder, left-handed hitter at UCLA, the same place that her role model, mentor, or hero, let's say, played softball. So as a dad, that full circle just it's mind blowing. So I've been able to get to meet Natasha a few times since that first meeting through our UCLA interactions and watching my daughter play out there. So that's how this all came to be, and I couldn't be more excited and proud to have her here. So please give a warm welcome to Natasha Watley.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, JB, you can officially be my hype man, and I want to bring this crew with me to be my hype girls. You guys are so awesome. Like the energy, the spirit, all of it. Like I'm getting so much chills. I love it. I love it. I love it. And just like those full circle moments, like those are what we live for when we talk about softball. And I'm going to get into all of it, but I do remember that day talking at Morgan Stewart, and I remember meeting Riley, and now seeing her at UCLA and just getting to chat with her and we were you. We were you at one point. We were starting our careers. And I just think that what this day is about, what this organization is about, like I've only been here for 24 hours, and the community that I have felt in the last 24 hours is pretty cool. That's from the parents, that's from the coaches that I've met, and that's all starting with you guys. So big round of applause to Blaze and what you've built, JB. So cool. So I would love to share a little bit about my story a little bit. And I'm not from Texas. I am definitely a Cali girl, born and raised. I grew up in Southern California, Irvine, if anybody's familiar. Well, you guys should be, because sometimes you guys go play in PGF. And so Irvine is my hometown. My parents decided to settle there. My dad is from Louisiana. My mom is from the Bahamas. And I was a 5-year-old girl, only child, and I decided to play softball. So I decided to play softball. I had this flyer that I had in my first grade class. Teacher said, hey, here's a softball league that you guys can sign up for. Took this paper home to my parents. They did not know what softball was. I took this paper home and I said, please sign me up. And the reason why I wanted to play was my good friend, Coral Bain, who is still my friend to this day. Talk about friendships that you make through school, through sport. But she was like the queen of the blacktop. Like she did everything. She was the one that we'd be called first with all the boys if we had to pick a team to compete in school. She picked me first because we were both the athletic ones, and so I just wanted to be around her, to be fair. And again, I was only child. Take this paper home. My parents, they look at each other, puzzled. That is softball. They had no idea what softball was, you guys. Okay, but the reason being is because it wasn't popular like it is now, and the sport has definitely grown. But me being only child, I got what I wanted. I got to play softball. And so from there, the journey started. I did not know, and neither did they, the journey that we would be on just because of this small yellow ball. And a couple months ago, my mother passed away in May. And as I've been grieving and going through this process of losing her, I think about all of the memories that we have created playing softball. And it's all, that's how I fell in love with softball. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get, I want to share the story of how softball has brought my bond with my parents, but it's because the car rides and all of the wins and the losses that we had together. And, now as I reflect on that, my mom was a big part of that. But a lot of what I'm going to talk about is the love of the game. And that all started because of that connection and that bond I created with my family through softball. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through an acronym of love. And we're going to talk about love of the game. And we're going to talk about L. And I want to leave you guys with this because it's going to be little nuggets that you guys can take with you as you guys go through your days. And you go through this journey and you go through this grind. I'm telling you, it's a grind, okay? Whatever it is that you're doing, as you're going through academics, as you're going through school, as you are going through life and things that I'm going through, you've got to think about why you started, why you're here, and so hopefully these things can help you. So the first thing is L. And L is you've got to lean in where you are right now. And what that means is you've got to stay present and you've got to be in the moment. One of my first vivid memories of playing softball, and I shared this last night at the coaches' clinics if you were there, I hit the ball off the tee. I hit it to shortstop. I was fast. I was a slap hitter, triple threat. I was fast. Hit this ball to shortstop, and I sprint. I book it to third base my first time. Not even kidding. Talk to my dad. He loves to tell this story. But I book it to third base, and all of the parents are like, no! All of a sudden, they just stop. They're like, let this girl go. I book it to second, to first, and I call it my Beyonce moment. I'm a big Beyonce fan. My hair's blowing in the wind, like time slows down, and I was free. And there was this moment, my first time playing, and I instantly fell in love with this game because I could just run freely and run fast. Little did I know I was running the wrong way. Lesson to be learned. My dad, as soon as it was done, he was like, hey, great, continue to have fun, but you gotta run first every single time. Every single time you gotta run to first base. I'm like, oh, I thought I was gonna trick these people out. Like, I want to go the opposite way. Every girl before me was going to first. I'm like, I don't want to do what they're doing. I want to go the opposite way. I wanted to be me. At a young age, I wanted to be me. But from that moment, it was leaning into where you are in that moment. It was passion. It was everything. And I want you guys to think about where you are right now is not where you'll necessarily have to be tomorrow. But when you start thinking too far ahead, that's when we start to lose ourselves a little bit. We start to think about, well, 20 years from now, I want to be, you have no idea 20 years from now. Things happen. And so where you can be present, where your feet are, that's where the good things happen. And as over time, that passion will build, the development will build, and you'll start to get better. So that is L. Lean into where you are right now. That takes me to O. O is owning your effort. Owning your effort. Once you are where you're supposed to be, you're supposed to own your effort. And one of the biggest lessons I learned in college is, I shared this also last night with the coaches, is one time after practice. So at UCLA, if anybody knows Coach Enquist, Sue Enquist, anybody know Sue Enquist? If you don't know Sue Enquist, she's a legend of our game, YouTuber. She has some of the best nuggets, one of the most impactful people in my life. But what she would do, she would make us get on the line and she would make us sprint after practice. So this was something that she wanted us to finish with high energy. She wanted us to leave on a high note. I don't know why sprinting would be leaving practice on a high note. We'll have to ask her why she made us do that. But we would get on the line. So she would call out people. She would call out 3 names. Natasha, Lindsay, I'm throwing random people. Tariah, get on the line. And when we would get on the line, I was one of the faster athletes. And every time we would do these races, I would win. I was fast. But it didn't matter who I was racing. I would beat them by 1 to 2 steps. She stops the practice and she says, Natasha, what do you notice about your teammates? I'm like, I don't know, the obvious, like, I'm beating them. I'm winning every single race. She's like, no. Look at your teammates right now. And I look at all my teammates. They're hunched over. They're huffing. They're puffing. And she's like, you are not even breaking a sweat. You are winning my races, but you are not giving me all of your energy. You're not giving me all of your effort. It is not about winning the races. It is about your effort, your energy, what you're putting into it. And that is the biggest lesson I have learned. It is not about result oriented. It's not about the outcomes. It's about what you are putting into every single day. And that has translated across the board. Everything that I'm doing. I have my own nonprofit, the energy that I'm putting into it. If I'm not putting energy into it, the girls that we're serving are not receiving. And so everything that you're doing, everything you put your mind to, everything, every pen and paper that you do, it's all about the effort. The biggest lesson that I've learned, that is our O. Own your effort. We go to V. V is Um, let me get to V. I lost my V. Oh my gosh. V is. Oh my god. I'm God. Taylor. It's like the speaking blues. Um, no. Oh my gosh. Is your value? Yes, valuing your setbacks. Thank you. Oh my god. V is valuing your setbacks. I had a breakdown. Oh my gosh, it happens, but we keep going, right? So V, you value your setbacks. There's going to be so many setbacks. You're going to have so many strikeouts. There are going to be so many games that you lose, that you don't get the outcome that you want. And what are you gaining? What are you learning from that? I have stories and stories of games that I didn't lose, that I didn't win. My senior year going into UCLA, at that moment, I had already committed to going to UCLA. And at that time, thank you. And at that time, I felt like I was on top of the world. Everything was going right. I had committed to my dream college. UCLA was one of my top 5 schools, and I had committed. And at that time, I had an invitation to go try out for the junior national team. And that was my senior year going into my freshman year of college. Show up at this tryout, just kind of not necessarily feeling myself, but at that moment, things were going all in my favor. And once I got there, this tryout was horrible, you guys. It was the worst softball I've ever played. I don't even know if a ball hit my glove. I don't even know if a ball hit my bat. I just completely was not myself. And I remember walking away like, okay, I didn't really go that way, but there's still a chance. So this happened like in the archaic days when we didn't really have, now when you try out for the national team, they'll email you technology, they'll post a graphic on social media. Back then, they would just put a piece of paper on a wall, old school style. Everybody is hovered around trying to see this list if you made this national team. And if you can imagine, it was like one of the most humiliating moments of my life. All of my buds there screaming, squealing, hugging each other, and I'm like trying to go down to my Watley looking for W. Don't see it. Number 29, going down, don't see it. Didn't make this team. And it happened to be in San Diego. So growing up in Irvine, that's like a 2-hour drive away from Irvine, San Diego. So my parents had to come pick me up the next morning. When they come and they pick me up, they look at me, they're trying to get some reaction. I'm like, just get in the car, get in the car. I cried the whole entire way home. At that moment, I wanted to quit softball here. I already have a scholarship ready to go to UCLA, and I wanted to stop all of the hard work that I had worked for to get to that moment. But in that moment, obviously, you take some time away, and I had to think about, what am I learning from this situation? Did I really show up and give all this energy, all this passion? Did I really show up in my best self? And I didn't. I showed up just kind of happy to be there, just however. But what do you guys think moving forward when I had another opportunity, another tryout? How do you think that went? I was my best self. I showed up with passion. I showed up with energy. And the next tryout was for the 2004 Olympic team. And so I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm going to be able to lay my head down tonight knowing I put my best effort forward. And I balled out. Maybe 2004 Olympic team, we won gold. Woohoo, go. And so it's all about valuing your setbacks, okay? So there's going to be a million of them, but how are you learning from them? The last one is evolving beyond the game. Evolving beyond the game, what does that mean? That means there's a lot of lessons that you guys are going to learn between the white lines, but a lot of these things, they translate beyond. And one of the best lessons that I learned in college was how to be vocal. And if you guys would have known me, my 18-year-old self, I was shy, I was timid, I didn't want to take up too much space, I didn't want to bother people, I didn't want to like be too big. And one of the things that Coach Enquist, she just kept in drilling in me was, you're going to have to be vocal. People are going to want to hear what you have to say. She did some exercises with me to make sure that I knew how to speak, how I knew how to articulate myself. I knew that one day I'm going to be speaking to young ladies, to families, to coaches. And so one of the things too that I love so much is that time period of playing. I built confidence, I built leadership. That's what this game does, and things that translate way, way far beyond the field. So you've got your L, which is lean into where you are right now. O, own your effort. B, value your setbacks. E, evolve beyond the field. And I promise you, as you guys keep chasing this yellow ball and you do all of these things, when you continue to develop, you continue becoming who you're supposed to be, this game will continue to pay you back. So thank you so much.